The History of Boeing by Lauren Heiberg. The Boeing Company started in a small warehouse that the founder, William E. Boeing, originally bought for his yacht. In 1916, the company was founded, and Boeing turned the building into the company's headquarters. Since then, the company has come a long way and now has plants in multiple states. Boeing serves companies in 145 countries and works with companies Lockheed Martin, Sikorsky, and Bell Helicopter Textron. This growth, since 1916, has affected the economy and politics of Washington state, where the company was founded. William Boeing's tiny airplane manufacturing company grew into a huge corporation of other industries, including defense and space, computer services, and commercial aircraft construction. Also, during the time between world wars, the company embarked on an air mail service. It all started when William Boeing moved to Washington from Michigan for the Northwest timber industry. He built his first plane at Seattle's Pacific Area Products in 1916 with Conrad Westervelt and Herb Munter. This plane was called the BMW. It was named after Boeing and Westervelt and was a seaplane. During the 1920s, Boeing purchased several companies, all aviation related. In 1929, Boeing and Frederick Rentschler combined businesses into a firm called United Aircraft and Transport. In 1934, advent of regulations forced United Aircraft and Transport to split into United Airlines, United Aircraft, and Boeing Airplane Company. Also, in 1934, post-Depression legislation mandated dispersion of corporations, so William Boeing sold his interest in the Boeing Airplane Company. He would come back to the company later. The company had many firsts in airplane manufacturing, including the first all-metal airliner in 1933 and the first passenger jet, the 707 in 1958. Boeing also brought the first pressurized cabin to market, the Model 307. Some other important dates were 1967, the first flight of the 737, and 1969, the first flight of the 747. Also, in 1994, the 777 flew for the first time, and in 1997, Boeing merged with McDonnell Douglas. From 1935 to 1965, Boeing built some of the most popular commercial airliners, including the 747 jumbo jet. Because of all these successes, the Boeing Company has been the leading aircraft manufacturer in the world for 30 years. All of this has had a positive impact on Washington state's economy. In between world wars, to prevent from being bankrupt, the company pursued U.S. airmail contracts. Edward Hubbard was the one who convinced them to do this. He started as a mechanic for the company and became a test pilot. On March 3, 1919, William E. Boeing and Eddie Hubbard delivered the first bag of international U.S. airmail. The first international airmail route was in between Seattle and British Columbia. This was good for Washington state economy, particularly Seattle. Boeing also affected politics in Washington state and the U.S. Defense contracts started in World War I. Boeing made flight trainers for the U.S. Navy. During World War II, Boeing and its partners worked together to produce a staggering 98,965 aircraft, including the famed B-17 Flying Fortress. The B-17 was the first Boeing military aircraft with a flight deck instead of an open cockpit and was armed with bombs and machine guns. The first B-17 saw combat in 1941 when the British Royal Air Force took delivery of several B-17s for high-altitude missions. It was also a B-17 that dropped the world's first atomic bomb. As World War II intensified, the bombers needed additional armor. Boeing Plant 2 built a total of 6,981 B-17s in various models, and Douglas and Lockheed built another 5,745 under a nationwide collaborative effort. Unfortunately, most B-17s were scrapped after the war, and few exist today. The Boeing Company represented nearly 28% of America's total aircraft production during the war. The planes that Boeing made helped guarantee victory for Allied forces. Today, Boeing makes a variety of defense products including fighter jets, rotorcraft, embedded product support, cybersecurity products, surveillance suits, advanced weapons, and missile defense. In conclusion, Boeing has affected Washington state economically and politically since 1916.